There is a specific type of rumination associated with depression that has three specific characteristics. The rumination is global, which means that you think that everything in your life is ruined. It's internal, which means that you think that it's your own fault. And it's stable, which means that you think that the situation will never change. And you can understand why people are depressed when they think that their entire life is over, it's their fault, and things will never get better. Global means that you think that everything is ruined. You think that every facet of your life has been destroyed by this event, whatever has happened, whatever you're having an emotional reaction to. So maybe you failed a midterm and now you're like, oh, I failed that midterm. I'm going to fail the class. I'm going to lose my scholarship. I'm going to get kicked out of Dominican. My girlfriend's going to leave me. I'm going to wind up panhandling in the streets under a freeway overpass, right? Like my entire life is going to fall apart because of this one series of, or because of this one event. That's what global rumination means. To counter global thinking and global rumination, think about what in your life is going well. Most of us live multifaceted lives. We have friends, we have family, we have hobbies, we have school, we have work. One of those things hopefully is going well. Even if all the other ones are going horribly, at least we have one thing that we can point to and say, this part of my life is actually going pretty well. If the emotional problem you're having is not related to your health, then I strongly recommend health is the thing you can always be grateful for. And, I'm not like old, but I'm getting older and I just realized how much I took for granted, how great it is to have a body that allows me to do the things that I want to do on a day-to-day basis and that feels healthy and good. So if you're really upset about something and you have your health, at least think about your health. That's always something you can point to that's going right in your life, except when it's not. Internal rumination means that you think everything is your fault. So you failed this test because you're stupid, because you're lazy, because you have bad time management skills, and you blame yourself for whatever thing has happened. And there's something, it's almost as if there's something broken or permanently wrong with you. To challenge this, think about the aspects of the situation that were beyond your control. So maybe the professor wasn't that good, and that's why you failed the midterm. Or maybe you got a great professor, but they wrote a bad test and you studied for the wrong thing. And maybe you studied really hard, but you just happened to study the wrong content. Maybe you stayed up all night the night before because your friend was having a problem that you were helping them with. Maybe you're balancing work and school and you just didn't have time to study for the test. Think about what were the factors of the situation beyond your control that contributed to whatever's going on now. And then lastly, stable rumination means that you think this thing is going to last forever. So global means my whole life is screwed up. Internal means it's my fault, and then stable means it's always going to be like this, that I'm never going to be able to have the job I want because I failed this midterm. I'm never going to be able to buy a house or have a family or accomplish my goals because I screwed up on this midterm. That's what stable means. It's that I have permanently ruined my life in some way. Even though most of us feel like our problems are just so incredibly important at the time, in hindsight, they're often not. And so to challenge stable thinking, ask yourself if you're going to remember this problem in a year. And most of the time, you're not. In fact, most of the time, in a few weeks, you probably won't even remember or care. And our problems seem so big to us, but when we see them within the perspective of time, we get a broader perspective on them and they don't seem as big. We see them, as more smaller and more temporary. So to challenge a stable rumination, ask yourself, am I going to remember this in a year?